Welcome to Red Tales. Today we'll be looking at two stories. This first one involves a man betrayed by two of the people he should have been able to trust the most. I found out my wife slept with brother 2 days before our wedding. Me and my wife got married in the middle of June. We've been together for 6 years and engaged for 1 before we got married. I thought everything was great, and it was. I never had any suspicions of any cheating on her part. Saturday morning my brother calls me and says he needs to talk to me. I head over to his apartment and one of his friends is there. He sits me down and he starts crying out of nowhere. He says that he and my wife attended a day party. I knew she was going to a party, but didn't know my brother was attending as well, 2 days before our wedding. They got drunk as fuck and they ended up having sex. He says he doesn't remember any details besides the fact that they fucked. I blacked out. I started punching him like crazy. His friend eventually pulls him off of me and I head home fuming with rage. I'm not sure how bad I hurt my brother, but according to his friend I knocked a couple of teeth out and fractured his jaw. So I didn't hurt him too bad. I get home and confront my wife. She begins to deny it. So I tell her I heard it straight from my brother's mouth. So she confessed to it. She says they got so drunk they had no control of their actions. When they realized what they did, they promised to keep it a secret and never let me find out. I kicked her ass out. She's been staying with her sister since Saturday. And to make sure she couldn't spin the story, I contacted both sides of our families and all of our mutual friends. I don't know what to do now. I feel so broken. 1 month in my marriage is fucking ruined. So what now? TLDR, found out wife and brother had sex 2 days before wedding. Find out now. Help. OP comes back with an update a few weeks later. Hey guys, it's been a while, but I thought I'd write an update now that things are happening again. Long story short, I filed for divorce Thursday. It sucks, but if my wife was lying to me after less than 2 months of marriage, how much would she lie if we were together for 20 years? As for my brother, the fucker had to pay thousands for surgery because I fractured his jaw. Good. And my wife? She received the divorce papers yesterday and immediately blew up my phone. She called me. I picked up and all I heard was, "Why would you do this to me? You're my soulmate." I've also been getting a lot of angry Facebook messages from some of her friends since I kicked her out. Needless to say, I have blocked them. Her parents are on my side in this, so I guess it's cool. I think emotionally I'm in a better place. Obviously, once the divorce process starts those feelings are gonna come back, but for now I'm just enjoying myself. TLDR, filed for divorce. My wife and brother are dead to me. OP suffered a massive betrayal by 2 of the people he trusted the most, his brother and his wife. The hurt it inflicted is evident and clear. That justified anger can act as a lifeboat. But it can also cause harm in yourself. Hopefully, OP took the time to grieve what is essentially the death of his relationship with his wife and brother. It's okay and even necessary to allow yourself to feel and process all the emotions such a betrayal causes. The sadness, confusion, and anger are all things that need to be dealt with in order to heal. Thankfully, it sounds like he's getting a lot of support from his family and friends. His brother, knowing what coming clean would lead to, still did it. He did a terrible thing and likely could have gotten away with it by not saying anything. Him choosing to tell OP shows he had enough respect, love and guilt to overcome his own fear and sense of self-preservation and do the only right thing left to him. He gave OP the ability to make his own choice. Forgiving his brother doesn't mean he has to have any kind of relationship with him. Forgiving him doesn't take away the pain he caused or make his presence in OP's life any easier to tolerate, but it would go a long way toward OP healing and moving on. The wife, however, chose to lie to OP over and over. She chose to stand in front all their family and friends on their wedding day, to get out of bed every day and face OP and live a lie without even letting on that something was wrong. OP deserved to know and had a right to make his own choices. She did this to suit her own interests and planned to continue that lie for the rest of their lives. The fact that she would call them soulmates after all that shows an extreme level of delusion. She compounded the initial betrayal and expected them to still be able to work things out. There was no way OP would ever be able to trust her again, and there was no way to fix that anymore. Now, we have a story of sisters, a cat, and a husband who should have known better. Let's go. Am I the asshole for choosing my senior cat over my sister and potentially allowing her to become homeless? I will preface this by saying that my mother treated my sister and I differently. I was always less than, while she could do no wrong. She'd always buy my sister everything she wanted, while I wore her hand-me-downs. I moved out at 18, worked through college, went no contact with mum and low contact with sister, and our paths diverged greatly from there. I now work in a field that pays well, while she is a stay-at-home mum. I guess I never quite got over this, and while I know the main asshole is my mother and my sister didn't really know any better, I still fester negative feelings towards both of them. I found Tom in a bag as a newborn kitten. He was the only one still alive, and I raised him over summer break when I was 13. Then, when school started, my mother got rid of him and I had to go through great and extreme lengths to find out where she dumped him. Took me a week to find him and we've been together ever since. For a few months Tom hasn't really been okay and has been slowly declining. The vet, however, based on the recent blood panel we did, was confident that he still has some life left to live and said that he's by far the healthiest geriatric cat she's seen in a while. Thus, we decided to try out surgery to improve his quality of life, even though he's 21. This surgery comes with a price tag. I'm not in the US, but it's around 3 months' worth of minimum wage in my country. It won't set us back much, hardly an inconvenience, but we'll be frugal just in case complications happen. He's scheduled for Monday, fingers crossed. Anyway, my sister dropped by on Sunday, which was strange. We haven't spoken since she messaged me a Merry Christmas gift on FB. Looks like her husband jumped onto the NFT bandwagon and they're kind of broke and a few months behind on mortgage, and asked if I could help her out with the payments, since they're at risk of becoming homeless. I said I'm sorry she's going through this, but this is not a good time for me either, and listed the reasons above. I do not want to ever be in a situation where my cat's life depends on $100 that I cannot afford to pay. I suggested she get a job and maybe downsize/move in with mother while they get back up on their feet. She did not take this well, called me a C-word and a crazy cat lady that's going to end up alone plus some other nice words. I kicked her out. My mother and other relatives have been spamming me through the week for being heartless and caring more about an animal than my own flesh and blood. My husband says I could have just given her some cash to avoid the drama, and he's right. I could have. This is why I feel like I might be the asshole in the end. The main reason I chose not to help is due to my childhood baggage. Am I the asshole? OP was declared not the asshole. Here's the update that she gives us a week later. Thank you so much to all of you who have wished Tom good luck on his surgery. I'm ecstatic to let you know all went well. I was a bit cautious on providing an update, as I wanted to make sure he is indeed doing better before celebrating. On the weekend leading to the big day I bought him his favorite food, these tiny fish that in my country are generally eaten whole, fried anchovies, that he loves to gobble up raw. I only ever give those as a treat maybe a few times a year since they're not exactly healthy for cats, but I made an exception since, things could have gone terribly bad. The operation went great. Vet said there were no complications. I got him home in the afternoon and he slept it off until midnight, when he started asking for food. He's been eating like he's trying to make up for the weight loss he suffered. He's also been more alert these days, started following me around again and begging for food, and it looks like he's sleeping better too. He would generally just lay awake on his cat bed all day, looking unhappy. Now he's sleeping soundly between meals. The only discomfort he has is related to the stitches on his gums, but they should fall off in a few weeks. Honestly, it's like they didn't remove only his teeth, but also a chipped off a few years. I'd also like to thank all of you that called me out on using him as an excuse. You're right, I was using him as an excuse. No has never been a full sentence for me, so I am now actively looking into finding a good therapist. I still stand by my decision of not helping my sister out though, and many numbers in social media accounts have been blocked. I'm thinking about leaving this account active and add a final update in a week, or a month, or a year, or whenever it's time to bid Tom farewell. But for now, he seems happy, so I've no doubt I made the right choice. OP and her cat are happy and moving forward, which makes me extremely happy. I'm an animal lover who had the same cat all my life until I was 17. He was with me through some very dark periods of my life, and losing him to old age was devastating. So getting more time with hers is a great blessing. OP and her sister seem to be in a golden child scapegoat situation. Their mother could step in and assist the sister, or the brother-in-law could go to his family for help. After all, it was his decisions that put them in that position in the first place. Instead, they demand that OP sacrifice and endanger someone she loves. Good for OP for standing up to them and learning that no is a complete sentence. Setting yourself on fire to keep others warm only leaves you burnt. Thanks for watching Red Tales. If you enjoyed this video, think about hitting the like button to let us know. And if you haven't already, subscribe to get more videos like this. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.